They'll tell you that you can't make it, that you began life's test with an F pasted to the top of your exam in bright red ink. They'll show you links through studies and statistics, lifetime sentences, force-feeding you with both facts and fiction, aimed at predicting the outcome to your destiny as if they can see into your future and as if God created you to fail. They'll tell you that you're on a downward spiral to hell, that you're unfit for survival in this societal jungle. Unable to live in a world without morals, they'll spoil your fruit if you allow them to. They'll magnify the distant thunder to rain down on your mentality, flood your hopes and dreams, and wash away your possibilities. They'll snatch away your cloud nine without realizing that it's your mind sky and your potential is limitless. I wish I could close your ears like eyelids, shutting out the light of their lies and allow you to enjoy the darkness of your own possibilities. See, some light can be detrimental. And without UVA protection, you could burn the outer layer of your reality. It's hard for me not to get disgusted when I hear young minds encrusted with lines of dusted dreams, rusted pipes of corroded outlooks, crusted contraptions fastened to impressionable realities, dragged around like luggage to burden one's capabilities, deceiving your mentalities like the sun of the morning, poisoning your spirit with a serpent's tongue, slithering in and out of your kingdom, a bite that stung more than it burned, residual effects that churn the foundations of your emotions, creating potions of failure, but don't let them fool you. Don't allow their miseducation to school you. Through distorted lessons of defeated sessions, more lethal than injections, they'll lay your mind to rest. The best kept secret is, no matter what the situation, you are more than a conqueror, and this is only a test. See, you can be anything that your heart desires. Moving forward toward the unwritten chapters of your lives. You can make liars with their pants on fire eat their words, curve past the obstacles in your path and crash directly into success. Head-on collisions into happiness. Learning from the mistakes of fathers who were far from the best example, you could trample their crowds of negativity. See, they want your passion to go up in smoke like a chimney, but your will to succeed can still burn relevant. Cooler than peppermint, your anger can cease. Avoiding the bellies of the beast, you could reach for the stars as far as your eyes can see. You don't need to be anybody's statistic, so don't miss your chance. You could dance to your own tune. Cats get it twisted like pretzels, thinking they have to accept those passed down generational patterns, the scattered cowards that showered their family tree. You don't have to be that automatically. So don't tell me that you had no role models in your life and you had no choice. You always have a voice in the matter. You can be anything under the sun. Even the worst father can stand as an example of what not to become.
up, world? We live and direct, man. We ready to go, man. I've been hyped for this Monday, man. We got a big show today. I have my man Nathan Sanders and his daughter Destiny Sanders here along with my good friend Etan Thomas, man. We're gonna talk about this injustice that's been going on in our communities for years, man. And it's time that our people and the public have heard from people that have experienced it. And y'all understand the true stories, nothing fabricated, nothing that the police force or anybody else put together. This is from the families of the victim that actually went through this crisis and still dealing with it today. I got my man Worldwide B Mac in the building, baby. The coldest in the game, man. I don't know what to tell y'all, man. I'm gonna unleash him every week on the world, and y'all ain't gonna get enough of it, man. So we in here live and direct for this great Monday, man. E. Thomas, poet, writer, activist, ex-athlete, played in the NBA, played in Syracuse, man. Perfect for the locker room. Great guy, man. And I want y'all to check him out and do a little research on him because he's doing big things across the country. So we're going to get this rolling, man. I can't hold my boy B Mac back no more, so let's get it rolling.
How y'all doing? We here with Nate. How you doing, brother?
So far, so good, man.
Everything good?
Everything is super, man. No complaints.
No complaints.
No complaints.
All right. Now, as we all know, an incident happened.
Yes.
Wrongly.
Wrongfully.
Straight up and down, like 6 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
But what I would love for you to do is let the people, Facebook, the world, everybody know. I want you to say, Mac, I started here and I was going here. I was going to work. This happened. That happened and that happened. Just give me some small breakdowns, because we can have a part 2 of this. But just give Facebook a small breakdown of what happened to your son, man.
Introduce yourself first. Talk to the people. Let them know your history and where you're from, too. So, because we got people all over the country tuning in. I know you like that boot, like good shrimp, bayou, Cajun, boudin,
Louisiana.
Boot show. So since we keep this all the way real all the time, man, this is one of my great friends, man. This is like a brother to me. This is bigger than just an interview, because the story we're gonna discuss, I've already heard it 1,000 times. Shedded tears behind the story.
Yes.
Ready to go take it to another level behind some of these stories. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm passionate about this, man. We used to be co-workers. God turned us into one of my best partners. I don't like to say best friends because I got a lot of co-partners that I roll with. You dig? So, Nate Sanders, I'm going to let him introduce himself. We're going to shoot off from that point on, brother. Questions going to fly because they coming.
Yes, sir. All right. First of all, I would like to thank you, Ray Jackson, and Brother Bobby Mack.
Thank you, brother.
For even having me and my daughter Destiny on the show. To share with the people what it's like to lose a child, have a loved one murdered, life taken away from you. It's definitely something that's unexplainable, and anybody that it hasn't happened to, just if you think about it, in my words, it's 100 times worse than that. That's exactly what it is. Man, we're looking at May the 11th, 2009. It was an early Monday morning. I was at work. I was a trainer at work and was riding with a guy. Telephone rung. It was my house. Well, I looked at the phone and I'm thinking, I wasn't driving. The guy was driving. Like, my wife normally is not up this time of the morning. It was like before 5 o'clock. I answered the phone. Nathan, got a call. Little Nathan got shot. You got to come home so we can go over there to see what's going on with him. The ambulance was there, but they gone and they didn't work. They're not working on him. So I just figured it was something minor, Went home and drove over there and got to the scene. I don't know, it was a lot of Austin police officers, locked arms, like made a barricade.
Locked arms like this?
Locked arms like
How
that.
many was it?
It was a circle I don't know. I would say it's about 20 or 30
Locked arms.
locked arms.
Wow.
They had the yellow tape around.
We're in Walnut Creek, right?
Walnut Creek Apartments.
Walnut Creek Apartments. Go ahead.
So I get out the car. I run over. I raise the tape up. And I'm hollering, Nathan. Little Nate. Nathan. Not responding, not moving. Just a bystander came by and he asked me, man, you Slick Dad? I said, man, I don't know nothing about Slick, but I'm Little Nate Dad.
Right.
He said, man, he pointed, I think the police officer had on a baseball cap. He said, man, that joker with that baseball cap, he killed Slick. Man, I could say my heart stopped beating, man. Like, my wife started screaming and hollering. We had to get her out of there. Let me back up before that. The police asked me where was I going. I said, well, I'm going over here to talk to my son.
Mm-hmm.
And they just kind of looked at each other. Nobody said anything. That's when the bystander asked, made the statement. And I'm looking like, man, Nathan dead? And I holler, Nathan! Nathan! He's laying there on the ground, man. On his back, not moving.
Man, that's a tough situation, brother. I can't even fathom that, man.
I don't.
So, what were your initial thoughts after hearing the bystander say that the police officer had murdered your son?
Man, I couldn't even think. Coach, my mind just like went blank. And I'm listening to my wife jumping, screaming, and hollering. And I thought of my son over here on the ground, dead. For no apparent reason.
Nobody ain't got nothing to say.
Nobody have anything to say.
Nobody ain't saying nothing to you, Nate.
Nobody say nothing.
So this is a secret now.
It's a secret, bro. and this is 5 o'clock in the morning.
And I want to shout out my city, Austin, Texas, because if I go back to that morning, I remember the city came out and they brought out riot police and everything, if I'm not correct. Now, tell me about the scene and how that all played out that morning,
right,
with your son still being laying out there on the
so,
ground.
This was, say now it's 5:30 in the morning. The assistant chief is out there, and I have a problem because my son's lying on the ground, uncovered, dead. So they had to wait until the chief come, and can't get the coroner out there for some unknown reason. I don't know why.
Riot police and all that make it there.
So the body is out there. It's starting to get daylight.
Hold on. Your son out there. No sheet on him.
No
Hold on, Nate. Locked arms.
Locked on.
All on police calls. Know somebody got something in the trunk.
Yes.
We don't know how long he been out there. You just gathering like from the time you been there till you still in daylight. Still no sheet on him.
No sheet on him. However, the assistant chief, he did find a yellow tarp in the back of his car, and he went and covered him. But however, the coroner can't get out there for some reason. Now, by now, I'm losing my little cool.
Yeah, this a man's child. It's your
I'm
child.
tired of being, this nice guy.
Yeah.
So now I'm ready to, I guess unleash the beast maybe?
Yes.
So I think when I threw up my hands and I started acting like they have a stereotype to act,
Right.
well, we definitely had support out there from the city of Austin, like you say, man. They were out there in numbers.
The community came
The
out.
community, the people
community.
were out there.
Yes.
They were out there. And
Yes.
I think as long as I was calm and cool,
Yeah.
they were. But I think when they saw that I was getting upset, because now it's probably 11 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. Now here they come.
The ground is hot.
Yeah.
My son is still out here.
Right.
And I'm figuring in my mind that they're trying to send a subliminal message to the rest of the world.
Right.
I threw my hands up. So when I throw my hands up, the next thing bottles, rocks,
Here it come.
bricks,
Here come the rain.
shaking the police car.
Yeah.
So the chief kind of asked me to calm down, come stay by him so the crowd could stay
down.
calm.
Yeah.
And I'm telling him, no, let's get my son off the ground so I can go home, and then you won't have to worry about that.
So
Boy, that's deep.
So hold on, Nate. The
God,
chief
right.
wants you to participate
Right.
after your son
Yes.
has been laying here.
You want me to be calm.
Hold on, everybody. I want share this. Please share this video.
Most definitely.
I want you guys to share this video. This is good information. Please share the video right now. Share it. So, here come the chief.
Yes.
Nate, come by me.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
because he's starting to see what's really fixing to go on here.
Right. Right.
He's starting to see the temperatures rising
Right.
as well
Right.
in the people.
Right. Yes. So what he did is he was asking me to be calm. So when the rocks and the bottles and bricks started coming, immediately he pointed over to one of his little commanders or whoever. I need riot patrol here. Man, in less than 5 minutes.
With no coroner still, riot patrol right there. No coroner though.
No coroner. But riot patrol, helicopters, they was there.
These are the ones that protect us.
The riot patrol got there before the coroner.
Yes, sir.
Man, I'm on this because they making me feel like your son is nothing.
Right.
That's what I'm feeling right now, man.
Imagine how I felt.
Right.
Imagine how I still feel.
Now, as we go into this, Nate Sanders, I got my man E. E, you in with us, man?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm
Man,
here.
You nationwide, man, and as we get this story rolling and get this show going, man, you have a powerful insight on all of this. I got my man Destiny Sanders, my man's daughter Destiny Sanders here, and I'm gonna let her give her perspective in a minute. But from a national perspective, kind of give the audience something about what you're dealing with and how you see what's going on with my friend here.
I mean, this is happening way too much around the country right now. I mean, today, Mike Brown should be turning 23, and he's not. And this is something that, as I'm going around, with my book and doing the work that I'm doing, I'm seeing a reoccurring pattern. That the issue is that it's not that we're sitting here trying to be anti-police. We just want accountability, and we want the police to be held to some type of standard where they can't continue doing things like this and unlawfully killing our children and getting away with it. And you see it happening across the country. So the part that I'm connecting now is athletes speaking out and using their voices on this topic, and that's when you see a lot of mainstream America paying attention to it because they know the power that athletes have. Right. They know when they hear Kaepernick say something, when they hear LeBron say something, D Wade, all these different, all the Fab Five talk about police brutality and what's going on. We're all different people who I interviewed. It gets people's attention, and this is what gets people nervous.
Right.
So as I'm talking on these different universities, I've been probably about 25, 30 different universities. And now it's about to go into the graduation. So we're going to take a break. And then in the fall, we're going to start back up again. And I've connected with different family members of victims of police brutality, like Eric Garner's daughter. And we've been going and speaking different places in around the East Coast. Terrence Crutcher's sister, who I actually went to school with in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And we just spoke at Oklahoma University. We're going to speak at universities all around Oklahoma, trying to push to get laws changed so that this doesn't keep happening. And so my heart goes out to your guests here because it's happening too much. But the thing about it is there's no level of sensitivity training that's going to stop this. We have to have laws changed so they can't get away with it. When police unlawfully kill one of our people, they have to be sent to jail.
Right.
So right now, they can't just say that you know, they were in fear for their life. And then that's it. You know what I mean? So we have to push for actual language to be changed and for police to actually be held accountable. And that's the whole point of what Kaepernick was taking a knee for. What about the veterans? What about the military? What about the flag? What about none of that stuff? They tried to make it out to be. It was about the police killing our people and not being held accountable for it.
Powerful, my brother. Powerful, my
They
brother.
always want to deflate.
Boy, that's powerful.
Yeah, it
Hey,
is,
get back.
man.
Hey, and just know this is a family I'm going to have you linked with too, bro, because they powerful, man. They driven by
Definitely.
God, man, and they serious about this. Because the biggest thing that stood out in my mind in knowing Nathaniel Sanders and his family was how they handled this trial and tribulation, this season in their life. It was very difficult. But, I mean, they stood with the most dignity. I mean, they made me so proud of it, man. I don't know what I would have personally done if that would have been my son, but I would pray to God that I would handle it like Nathaniel Sanders and his family, because they did an excellent job. Now, I want to give Destiny an opportunity to speak, man, because I can't have this pretty young lady here, man. It's like my baby, man. You know what I'm saying? She's so intelligent, and we fight all the time. So that's what we do. But I want your perspective of how initially this affected you, because you were how old at the time?
15, freshman in high school, freshman at a predominantly white high school, so that made it a little more difficult for me too. When everything happened, I was staying with my grandma. I had stayed the night with her so she could bring me to school. So I was completely left in the dark. I had no idea. I heard her crying, and I'm like, what is it? She came, I'm like, I don't want to know. And she was like, no, I can't tell you. And then she said, well, it's Nathan. I was like, well, you better tell me. This is my brother. Like, what you mean it's Nathan? No, they told me not to tell you. I was like, okay, well, don't tell me. I'm going to find out myself. But then she hit me with, he's been shot. My mind isn't going to think he's been shot by a police officer or anything like that. I'm going to automatically think, okay, he got caught up with the wrong people. Why is he getting shot? Like, what do you mean he's gotten shot? Oh, well, your parents are on the way to pick you up so y'all could go see what's going on. Never happened, right? It never happened. I'm blowing up my mama's phone, blowing up my daddy's phone, blowing up my brother's phone. I'm getting no answers. Of course, I'm young. I'm the little sister. We don't want you to be hurt. But this is my brother. Like, somebody needs to tell me something.
I'm ready to feel y'all pain.
Somebody needs to tell me something.
I'm ready to feel y'all pain.
And finally, I got through on my mama's phone, but my daddy answered, and we joke a lot, you know, we try to keep it happy, ha ha, rah rah, whatever.
Positive.
And my daddy was like, yellow, like normal. So I'm like, okay, yeah, what's up, where my brother at, what's going on?
Right.
And it's just complete silence. I'm like, hello. Like, by this time it's 9 o'clock in the morning, somewhere in there. So time has passed, and I'm still, because my grandma's like, don't turn on the TV. I'm like, why not? So what are you talking about? And my daddy told me, he was just in the back. I remember it like it was yesterday, the exact words. He was just in the back seat of a car sleeping. I said, okay. And he was like, and they killed him. And I'm like, what? I threw the phone down. I'm fighting the wall. Like, that, the wall is my enemy. What are you telling me right now? Like, what is this? Then somebody picked up the phone. It's okay to cry. I don't want to talk to you. I do not want to talk to you. Where's my mama?
I'm sorry,
like,
but this ain't the time.
This ain't, exactly.
Right.
This is not the time.
Right.
I'm not with my family. I'm still in South Austin. My parents and my brother are in Walnut Creek. Not that I could change anything, but I don't want to be with nobody else.
That's your comfort zone.
Nobody.
Right.
Well, we're going to take you home. I don't want to be at home by myself.
Right.
I go crazy.
What?
Right.
And I'm steady calling for updates. And like my daddy said, he's there, my oldest brother there. And I keep getting, well, we're not leaving until he leaves.
Boy. Okay.
It's 11:30 on a Monday in May.
Let's
What,
get warm.
like, what are you telling me?
Yeah.
What are you telling me right now? Like, this isn't making sense to me. At this point, I'm at home fighting the stairs. Got carpet burns and everything.
Man.
Because my brother was my best friend. We were 3 years apart. Ride or die. I mean, he called me, you better be in school. I'm going to come up to that school. All that kind of stuff. Like, I'm calling his phone. Pick up. pick up the phone. Like, this cannot be real.
Yeah,
And-
because they not telling me nothing. Let me call him then.
Right.
Yeah, let me.
Somebody,
Yeah.
like,
So hold that, hold that, because I know you got that pit bull in you.
Yo, boy.
This is how we
That's what I'm
roll. Pit bulls across the thing. It's lioness, lion. That's just how we roll. And it's a lion on this phone. Etan Thomas with us. But look, Nate, and I have to, man. I had to crack a joke to keep this because I'm angry, bro. I'm frustrated. I'm on fire, brother, because you know I love you. But let's give the people the details and what was said happened and how this led up to your son getting murdered in the back of a car asleep. Let's talk about the details. Tell them a little bit of what information was given to you and what you know.
Okay. I was told that he was in the back seat of the car. Asleep. And police, the car pulled in Walnut Creek. Police was in AutoZone parking lot. They were able, supposedly, to, they got the driver out, handcuffed him. I guess they asked him who was in the car. The car owner was in the passenger side in the front sleep. Nate was in the back sleep.
On the passenger side or the driver?
He was on the
driver.
driver's side. He was
Okay.
on the left side.
Okay.
So, the police went to the door, opened it, never identified itself. Supposedly tried to wake him up, said he had a pistol. They struggled for it, and they got it. He just started shooting. Now, supposedly there was a pistol. I've never seen it. I've seen a picture of one on like a ditto paper, copy paper. The pistol don't have any fingerprints on it.
Nate Prince was never on it. Man, come
Nobody
on, man. Come on, man.
Nobody.
You
But the
tell.
struggle. I mean, let's go into this, Nate. You know how we talk.
But the
So,
struggle.
what's the actual factuals? What are you really knowing about this story and what doesn't add up, my brother? Let the
Man.
people know. We raw, man.
Brother, none of it adds up to me.
Right.
None of it. I mean, because if there's a pistol and you struggle,
And a lot of these people, we proper and due respect to the family, we will show the video at the first break and let y'all get a glimpse of what, actually transpired. At some point through the show, we'll show you a video. But go ahead,
and I
bro.
remember when you watched the video,
Mm-hmm.
it took over 180 days before it was released.
Say that one more time.
It took
He
100.
threw that flag out there. He wanted to know it be, man. Replay. Go ahead.
Replay.
Red. It took how long, brother?
Over 180 days before the video was released. The event happened May the 11th, 09. And I want to say the video was released in, was it August? No. November. I think it was November. It was November. It was sometime in November. I don't remember the exact date. So from May the 11th to November was when the video was released.
Lord have mercy.
They needed 180 days.
Oh, and then when you see it, when you see the tape,
I'm speaking.
you looking at it like, so y'all took this long for this?
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's what you came up
And
with.
you guys will see it. So, but, I mean, we had our break, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, we coming up, man. I get caught up in the moment. We're going to take a quick break. E is still on the phone. We're going to talk about some issues nationally as well, locally, and how they're going to all tie in and how we can educate our communities and keep everybody safe, man. This is big this week, man. This probably going to spill over into another week, man, because we're going to educate. We all have to be on the same page and learn how to fight this injustice, man. That's the only way we're going to overcome it is if we united, my good people. So we're going to take a quick break, come right back to the discussion, and get right back live. E, stay with me, man. I need you to talk to the people as well. I love you.
Yes,
Be
sir.
Right back. rinse out and get right back to it. I'm starting to sweat, so I had to bring out the towel, man. 'Cause it's deep, man. It's deep. We're gonna actually give y'all the opportunity to see this video in just a few seconds, man. But I want Bobby Mack to talk to y'all real quick about this red meat, man. I can't leave that out, man. We're gonna talk about this red meat. Hit him with this red meat real quick, B. We can't keep cheating ourselves. We can't fight a real war unless we're fully prepared.
He put me on it right there, man.
I know what you love.
Part 2.
My G.
If we left off from last time about the red meat, I think, getting that regular leg back. So, we eating red meat at night, went through that, eating the red meat. Okay, now it takes 30 to 45 days for the red meat to break down in your body.
Hold on. You know I love numbers, boy. I love when you drop them factual. How many days? Tell them how many days.
30 to 45 days for red meat to break down in your body. If it's like that 80-20, you know what I mean? What most of us get, the 80-20. It takes, the meat is tougher, man. You know what I'm saying? And so the heart is pounding and it's working it off. So by that time, in them 30 to 45 days, most of us have already ate about 4 cheeseburgers. I'm just saying. And another steak. And chicken fried steak.
Yeah.
With the fries. So here we are. Your body is trying to break this down, man.
Yeah.
Sluggish. That's why a lot of people be depressed. You can't figure that one out.
Yeah, you can't.
I'm gonna break it down for you.
I'm not gonna replay that one. I'm gonna let you revisit
But
that
I'm gonna break it down, man.
boy.
You gotta understand something. When your body is constantly working, I mean constantly. That's like me telling you to run upstairs, up and down, constantly. Just run the stairs. Don't stop.
All day.
I mean, all day. Don't stop. You're going to give out. Eventually. Everybody different. You got some people who can go longer than others. The red meat breakdown. And well, I feel fine. Yeah. But you got to understand this. It's what you're doing to your heart, people. Black women. Number 1. In heart disease. Eating bad. Eating a lot of red meat.
Number 1 cause of death.
Number 1 cause of death.
For our black queens.
Before our black queens. Even though they number 1 in graduating, though.
Yeah.
Out of college. That's good. We
That's
like
amazing.
that. I like that, but I'm not
Like
gonna get
that
on
number
that.
1, huh?
I'm not gonna get on that, but I'm just saying. Let's just cut this red meat out a little bit, people. Let's do this, man, because you're not giving your body time to break down what you already ate. Every time you go to the restroom, that is not what you ate that day. That was what you ate last week.
30 days ago.
And then the red meat trying to work itself out of you and get in you, and here you all go slam another burger. Then you slam another one. Oh, them big old cheeseburgers. Oh, that's fine. See, we call them bad habits, man. Them bad habits. The reason why they so bad, because it's a quick pleasure. It's quick pleasure, man. And we got to stop that, man. It's just bad for our health, and it's bad. You know, we was born to live long. I'm going to tell you that right now, man. But
So let me tell y'all this, too, because you know I love that boy. He cold with explaining that. He got me eating vegetables and all that along with my wife, man, fruit and vegetables. But also, he's coming with the big boy made detox and cleanse and the nutrient drink you'll see shortly on the table. He going to show you how to make it, how to put it in your life. It's simple. I mean, we're going to bless the game. B Mac is cold with it, man. But we're going to get to this video real quick. Thanks for the facts, baby. We changing lives, boy. You changed my life. You're a real homie.
Love you,
hey,
boy.
we're going to get to this video and let y'all see. We're going to get back to this Injustice Monday because it's deep and powerful. We're going to run this video and then we're going to get back to that conversation.
2-1, I guess it gets 43. An ID not cleared, expired 08. Showing an I-9 for failure to appear, might be by only. fresh. That looks fresh out. Two, down 23, one left. You got two. You got one here, one here. You got one here and one there. Which one you want to do? What's up around the front passenger seat? You got one here, and I can't tell if you got anything in the same van. Keep an eye on him. And, anything else? Please hold the outside. 1018, 5109, Springdale. Keep there. 290 clear. Go 130 on that, 36. Watch them. Just keep an eye on them for now.
Nate.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Not for real, man.
That's our judicial system, bro. That's what they want us to trust and believe in. That's what we have.
Now he
That's what they took 180 days to present. That's what we have.
Man, that's a lot in that video, Rev. I see, and Mr. Do-Right is a cold piece with that. I see initially, man, when he brought it to light, man. When I see a police officer walk by the car and shine his flashlight in the camera of the police car that's videotaping it so that we can't see his face, he shine the light. He already hiding. You already up to no good.
Right.
So, and just seeing this, Rev, man, it's like I want to flip the table over right now, bro. And I can only imagine how you and Dash feel right now.
Right.
Explain to me this coming from the media, when this case really hit the media and how it affected your family, your job. And then I want you to also let the world, this is the bombshell, this is why I tell you God is real, man. I want you to talk about the same situation and what was happening outside of that situation with your daughter as well at the same time, because life got realer through that process. Go ahead, Real.
Well, the video, man, like I said, it took them 8 months, the 180 days or whatever. That's what they presented. What it does, or what it did to the family.
Seeing that, yes.
The bottom line on the situation, I mean, we were already a close family. It made us closer. However, thank the Lord for good people. We seek professional counseling, but that didn't work for us. Because of this media attention, none of us was comfortable with professional counseling.
Right.
So we just kind of leaned to each other, looked to the Lord, and that's how we made it through that part. But however, it was definitely strenuous, because almost 8 months till that day, we found out that Destiny had bone cancer.
8 months.
About 8 months.
So you never had time to grieve, and then
As a
Princess
matter of-
right here, she get hit with bone cancer.
And
Yes.
as a matter of fact, the day that we had to go to the specialist to get results of the MRI,
Mm-hmm.
we had just left from court gathering, what was it? Character witnesses. So we're going from there to the doctor to get slammed again
For you.
for me. So it's like that moment where you just have no words.
This is
And understand this, all at the same time where your son is getting crucified in the media for getting shot in his sleep. None of what happened that night can explain why Nathaniel Sanders died that night. My problem is we still have no explanation. To me, I still want justice in this situation. I'm still aggravated. You know what I'm saying? I can't even get to what my baby was dealing with, because at some point, they got to tell us why this man died that night. And through the whole process of my family growing, they executed my young man on TV. And this is a young man, graduated high school, coached against him AAU basketball, had a sweet jump shot, always respectful. You understand what I'm saying? But I don't even want to get into that because I get emotional. Go ahead, Rev, because, yeah.
Yeah, it's coaches, like I said, it's one of them situations, man. That's what life give us. I mean, this is our judicial system, and we've even had a situation. I could say locally, the community really worked with us, but I tried stepping out of the bounds, reaching to masses, and man, they replied to me.
You don't want to go there, Rev. You like Beat Mac, man. Y'all boys, y'all body slam. So, okay. Well, we referring to E, and I need you to hear this, E. So
I'm listening.
We
I'm listening.
were sitting back, man, at the job at the time. I'm in my office at the computer, and I'm pulling up names because we trying to figure out ways to fight this.
Because my $1 million question was just what you just said. I just need to know how Nathan went from asleep to dead.
$1 million question.
That's all I wanted to know. How did my child go from asleep, and everybody said he was asleep,
Struggling.
to dead?
But he was struggling though with the gun.
He was struggling with a gun and all of that good stuff, I guess, that they have to say. But the question was, how do we go from asleep to dead?
So, Nate, ooh, boy, you take the wind out of me sometime, man. But so let's get back to this, because E, and I want people to hear this, man, not to bash, because I always want to uplift and motivate. But we sitting on my computer at work, and we trying to figure out nationally how to bring attention to this, to get it outside the box of Austin, Texas, to get another perspective of this, so we can get justice. So I gave my man the number to a few prominent people out here in the community and nationally, the Al Sharptons, the Jesse Jacksons. And I'm going to let my man pretty much tell you how the response was from some of those leaders, or their office, shall I say.
Okay, well, one of them, I never did get a reply back. The other one, they asked me a couple questions. They said I needed to get a different lawyer, but they asked me, did I have a civil case pending? And of course, that's the only way you can get the truth, is by suing someone. And their words to me were, well, if you have a civil case pending, I mean, these things happen every day. I mean, what do you want us to do?
Hold on, these are people that they put ahead of us. They told you that.
That's their words to me,
Hold
man.
on, buddy. Replay. I want y'all to hear this, man, so that The guys that are really in the trenches, that are really like my guy Etan Thomas, that are really nationally fighting for us, we can't keep supporting these clowns and giving these other clowns dollars. We got to rally against the guys, rally together with the guys like Etan, Nate Sanders families, and those families across the country that are fighting injustice. Replay. What did they tell you? And break that down in layman's terms for the people, bro, so they'll understand the money game.
Okay. They asked me, they told me I needed to get a different lawyer.
Yeah.
Okay.
They gave me a lawyer number. I can't remember if it was Houston, Galveston, somewhere in that area. Say, fire that lawyer, get this lawyer. But if you have a civil suit case pending, what else do you expect? I mean, what else do you want? These things happen every day.
These are our people telling us this and putting a dollar on a man's child. There's no dollar amount that you can put on a man's child.
Priceless.
Man. It's priceless. Go ahead, Rev. I'm angry.
Yes. So I could tell you, Coach, after that happened like that, I really had a different look about, these guys that, nationally come on television. I mean, talking about, power to the people, we need this and that. I mean, of course, I didn't have millions of dollars of money to offer them, but we're just looking for justice.
Justice, simple.
As I say, I mean, we didn't need a civil lawsuit, but the bottom line is this is the way that we're admitting guilt by giving you some money. So I'm not going to say that I'm guilty,
It's big. Big.
but I'll give you some money.
Now, you've seen this across the country in these cases, man. Give me some insight on your thoughts of this, my brother. And I don't want to put you in the middle of bashing nobody because you cold. But Ray Jack, I always drag his nuts, bro, and that's just what it's going to be, man. So do what you do, man.
I mean, I've had a little bit of a different experience with, say, Reverend Sharpton. I haven't dealt too much with Reverend Jackson and the Rainbow Push Coalition, pretty much at all. But in dealing with the Crutcher family and the Garner family, of course, being right in New York, Reverend Sharpton was pretty much instrumental in just fighting against everything with Daniel Pantaleo and the NYPD, and still right now they're in court right now, trying to get justice, and it's tough. It's such an uphill battle, I mean, I don't know the circumstance as to why Reverend Jackson, Reverend, I'm getting them mixed up, but Al Sharpton came to Tulsa, Oklahoma, but he came there and supported the Crutcher family, had a rally in Tulsa. I don't know what happened around that or why or anything like that. I know that the Tulsa Police Department didn't want him there. And, I haven't had negative experiences with them, so to per se, but the issue is bigger than them.
So let me ask you this, E, and you being on the national circuit, who do we need to get behind outside of yourself that is really pushing this, brother, to where we really know from the streets and the community, so we're not getting nothing fabricated? Who do we really need to get behind in order to, kind of push this forward?
Well, this is the thing, because the work that I'm doing is with the families more. I'm not so much focused on them. I think sometimes we put a little bit too much on them. Yes, they bring awareness. Yes, they do what they do. But it's not. It's the family. So when I'm dealing with Tiffany Crutcher, whose brother is the one who was killed, and she's pushing for the laws to be changed, particularly in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and around Oklahoma, that's directly who I'm dealing with. And and like I said, I'm gonna keep saying, because she keeps saying, she's like, you cannot regulate people's hearts. You cannot change their hearts. You can when the police look at you and they look at our kids and they see them like they're some menacing monsters, there's no amount of sensitivity training that's going to change that. But what we have to do is make it illegal for them to do what they do. You know what I mean? Illegal for them to kill us and get away scot-free, or to get a paid administrative leave, which is basically a paid vacation. Yes. You know what I mean? Or have to have the city pay out some money, you know what I mean? But still nothing happened to the police and they're right back on the force. That's more what I am concerned with and connecting with. I'm connected with Philando Castile's mother, and she's pushing for the same thing up there. So that's what my work is around the country. Some people have good experiences with Reverend Sharpton. Some people have bad experience with them, and I'm not here to say either or. But the issue is, I want the police departments to be held accountable.
Yes.
That's what I want. I want the policemen to be held accountable.
That's real.
And it's a tragedy, and it's an insult for them to be able to be coddled the way they are throughout the system. I mean, I'm sitting there listening to Officer Betty Shelby's entire trial, and it was like Terrence Crutcher was the one on trial. And I'm like, wait a minute, Terrence Crutcher is the one who is dead. Like, how is he on trial? Why are you pulling up his past, but you're not saying anything about this police officer who murdered his past? And she had a horrible past. And each time you go and dig into the policeman's past who have killed a different person who is usually unarmed, usually not posing a threat, they have a terrible past. They have priors. They have times where they were warned for excessive force. They've had all these different things that you could always bring up, but it's never brought up in trial. They're putting the person who is the victim, the person who is not here anymore, on trial. So those are the things that I'm more focused on, and things that we have to fight. We have to fight for the laws to be changed. I can't say it enough. We have to fight for laws to actually be changed.
I love you, man, and that you said the realest, man.
Yes, sir.
Some real words, bro. And
Yes, sir.
back to you, Des and Nate. What is your perspective on kind of what E is saying? And because the stories are eerie, they so eerily the same.
Well, you see, this is my thought. You see, that's your guy, and I guess he seemed like a good guy,
Yeah.
and of course, notability.
Yes.
I mean, his name out there known. He carried weight. I mean, who is Nate Sanders?
Right.
I mean, what does he mean?
Yes.
What does he mean? And who knows him?
Yeah, he live in Austin, on Onion Creek, in the address
You know what I'm saying?
with a family.
So, if someone with a name like your guy was, then maybe probably we would have gotten better justice or justice.
It gotta be
He
national.
still did, and that's what he's saying. We're
Yes.
dealing with the same injustice across the board,
Right.
regardless of.
Right,
and
but
the changing of the laws is what is important.
you
at this point
see
in
that
time.
that's what was said to me, but who's going to be bold enough to write that law?
That's big.
Major.
Because
you
who
gotta
wants to be responsible?
You
Because
gotta- you
you know
gotta
what
go
the take
through it.
is? Well, that wouldn't happen to my child.
So you can't imagine.
Real. They run from it.
Until it happened.
Until it happens. That's the thing.
A cause, then the effect.
Yes.
So as we go into kind of like the trial and you going back and hearing reports and stuff, how was the information that we were given as a public totally different from what you were actually hearing and seeing?
Well, I could tell you, as far as when it got to a trial was something that the Sanders family was looking forward to.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to get them.
Now, unfortunately, the justice system didn't want that.
Explain this, Rev. Come on.
What you mean they didn't want it?
Okay. The words were to me, to the family, if we have a trial, if we don't take the settlement that's offered, if we go to trial, anything negative dealing with the individual police or the police department will not be allowed in the court. Everything negative dealing with your son or your family will be allowed in the court.
Hold on. Now you gotta look at the pattern now. It's just not here, right? So soon as one of our black children get killed, what do? They
Demonize
look up the dirt.
They demonize them.
They demonize them. So let's put that out there first. Let's go ahead. 'Cause it happened to Trayvon. What he did, how he did this, and
Right.
what he was smoking. It was all of that.
Right.
And then, so when you go to trial, that's all they looking at.
That's right.
And this is the same thing. So they pretty much telling you, we're going to do the same thing to you if you do it. Is that what you just said?
That's exactly what I just said. That's our judicial system.
It's an unfair system. We can present the negative about your son, but you can't present any negativity
No
about
negative.
the officer or the situation.
So no,
None of the evidence that was factual, that was found through the investigation, could you present in trial.
No, none.
so that 180 days, that wasn't going to do nothing. But we can't use that because we can pick all through that and possibility win just off the video. If let's be real,
Right.
and you had even more than just that video.
Of course.
See?
But you can't use that.
Can't use nothing. Because justice is blind, remember.
Y'all got to share this video, man. Share it. I'm telling you right now. Share this video. Wake up.
Because this is happening still to this day. We just had this problem in Baytown the other day in Baytown, Texas, where a young lady lost her life.
And was pregnant.
And there's so many stories, man. I'm sitting here with a list, man, of fallen soldiers, man, and it affects their families in a tremendous way. So Destiny, tell me this. After finding out you had cancer, still not able to really mourn and deal with your brother and grieve over your brother's death, how was life for a 14, 15-year-old young girl at that time, man? That's cool from your peers.
Indescribable. Actually, I can't even describe how it was. I mean, at the time that I was diagnosed, at that point I had already turned 16. When everything happened with my brother, they told me I couldn't come to school no more because it was so highly publicized. So I missed that part of school. So it's like, okay, I'm a sophomore now. I'm going to go to school, be normal, run track, do what I do, slam. And at this point, like I said, when we went to the doctor, we had just left from handling legal situations. So I'm told, you may have cancer. If this happens, then that. If you go to school and somebody bumps into you, it'll spread, and there's nothing we can do. My first thought was, my parents just lost a child. I can't let them lose another one. I don't want to die.
Yeah.
Like, we're not even
Life.
gotten through what we're going through. So I could say I went into a depressed state at 16. Like, my brother lost his life at 18. I'm 16. How do I get through this? So I had to have my own faith. I had to be strong for myself, for my mom, for my dad, for my brother, for Nathan, because I knew, and I still know to this day, that he would have wanted me to be strong. He would have wanted me to get through this. And at that point, I was like, I still have my life. It'll be a fight. So I have to fight and do what I got to do to get through this, because this is temporary. His life is gone. That's forever to us. All we have to hold on is his memories. I don't want that for my family. And the moment I told myself that is when I started to get stronger and learn to grieve even with getting poison in my body. My family, like my dad said, it made us stronger. It made us come together. We're already a small family, the 5 of us. So it was a test of in my opinion, it was a test of my faith. How are you, as a 16-year-old female, gonna get through this?
So revelation. Okay, revelation. If y'all heard the young lady, she said she didn't know how she got through it. She's just here. She know the faith was strong. But see, I just want to give you just a little something for people out here in the world. If you can explain how you did it, God didn't have nothing to do with it. But if you can't explain how you did it,
God had everything to do with it.
God is in there.
I love that boy.
You right on though.
I'm just saying.
You right on, man.
I'm
You
just
right
saying
on.
though, man.
You right on,
Huh?
bro. Yes.
So that just let me know you can't explain how you did it,
I can't.
right? So that means God had everything to do with it. You understand me?
Yeah.
But if you could explain it, he ain't have nothing to do with it.
Yes. Like
But-
I said, indescribable. What word do I use?
G-O-D.
Describe it?
The G-O-D, that's what it is. I mean, that's why he up here and he reached down, we reach up. But the whole thing about it is this. You made it.
Yeah.
And you here to testify, you here to talk about it, and you still breathing, you walking and you talking and you just living your life.
And that's one thing I have to remind people when they tell me they feel sorry for me. I'm sorry you went through that. Don't be, because I'm here.
Yes.
I'm walking and talking
Yes.
to you today. So don't be sorry for me. Be
Yeah.
thankful with
That's right.
me
That's
that I'm
right.
still here.
Yeah,
and
I
that's
love
that.
Yes, I
That's
love
that on that.
Yes, that's that on that. Yeah.
And tell the world what your mother told you about that situation.
We gotta
When
kill
we
this
didn't
in a
want to
minute.
hear. We don't want to hear. We're gonna go to commercial break shortly. But what your mama tell you about these situations and how they are for you to go? Tell them about that real quick. Then we're gonna go to this quick break, man.
Man, I had a situation because it was really bothering me. It's a bothersome situation, you know, and my mom would call and, you know, people would try encouraging me with, you know, God words, and today was just one of them days I wasn't, you know, I didn't want to hear that,
That's
you
real.
know, because I'm thinking, man, if this was real with God, why would I be here? You know, it's this, in my mind, carnally, I'm thinking this is supposed to happen to the person that's not where I am in the Lord. So she called and we were talking, and I said, well, Ma, you know, you're a Christian lady and you believe and trust in the Lord. Let's just rewind. We'll let Nathan come back. Let the police blow my brains out, and then see how you feel. So she got quiet for maybe about a minute, and she said, son, this was a test that was prepared for you and not for mama.
Man, you was prepared for it, huh? If it was prepared for you, that means you was prepared to survive. I'm gonna let y'all chew on that, man. I got my man Eon online, man. He gonna come back, talk a little bit more, and tell y'all how to find him. He writes books, man. He's powerful, man. And I got the Nate Sanders family here. We're gonna talk about them and some of the things we're doing moving forward. We're gonna have a cancer walk. We're doing more things. We're just gonna keep building on this injustice, coming together in our communities, educating and uplifting. We're gonna go to halftime. We get back with you. Thanks for tuning in to the locker room right now. Halftime break.
We gotta wake up. They steady killing us, locking us up,
They tell us
or
that
got us
it
killing
was free.
ourselves.
Ooh,
Gotta realize it was all lies. We destined to be great. We created this. We made this. We gotta change it.
We
Still trapped in a cage, but they tell us we free. Dilute our passion and rage, deterring our destiny. Integration, blindfolded a generation with vision. Mistreated by institutions that thrive off our tuition. They didn't want us to learn, they hid knowledge in books. Tears leaking from my eyes, then had a script to look. So how can I talk to my kids and tell them that life is fair? In all honesty, we do better on welfare. But I'm out here trying to do right, morning to night. The more lies they're trying to pay for the lights. Shattered dreams evaporated from the stems of pipes. All these hopes of a new day, crushed by these sirens and lights. Look, Turner ain't a coward, I was taught to fight. But then Larry Jackson lost his life. Somebody lied to us. Speak the truth and give mirth. That's why Pac, P.E.P. and Dr. King in the dirt. It's
They tell
amazing.
us that we're free.
Tell us that we free.
But all I seem to see is these red blood stains out on these streets.
Tired of my people
And now
dying.
the smoking barrels pointed at me.
Dang.
It's amazing.
Amazing how they lied to us.
Ooh,
It's
they
amazing
tell
how they
us
lied
that
to
we're
us. And
free.
we
It's
believe it. It's amazing how they lied to us. It's amazing how they lied to us. And we believe. We blindfolded by reality TV, that ain't reality. Just misusing the youngsters, turning our daughters to casualties. We gotta realize that we're still some slaves. Standing in line all night for some goddamn change. And I bet you got something to say. We post on Facebook more than we pray. We lost our way. So let these words marinate. They lied to us so we wouldn't know we're great. Visions of stacked bodies is different from what they show. In Africa, thousands massacre while we ballin' like dope. And locally, we get murdered and pacified with a check. The next day, we on the news thanking the killers for respect. It's amazing how we get fooled by the hate. They got us hooked, so these corporations use us as bait. Until we all start to realize how amazing we are. We blinded by scars that block the reflection of God. It's amazing. Turner.
But all I seem to see is these red blood stains out on these streets. And now the smoking barrels pointed at me. It's amazing.
It's amazing how they lie to us and we believe. It's amazing how they lie to us. It's amazing how they lie to us and we believe.
It's difficult to be silent or quiet when there's a riot inside of you, and the climate of crisis calls for the finest. When masses are mass for action, the movement is met with bias from those that sit in the highest positions in advertising and mass media. We are supposed to be in compliance, prostrate and compliant with pistol-toting Goliaths. When pressing pins of papyrus no longer contains a riot, we've been the riot within with velocity tuned to violence. Vocal vents till we triumph, we'll tackle and topple tyrants peacefully to Goliaths and tyrants. Open up hydrants, encircle us with their sirens and bring violence and license to kill, or impale us with the skewers of confinement. Their marches transform the riots to outward screams of the people, displayed for the world to see the upheaval of unheard people. Captured and caged by a system that says we're equal, when poor and middle class people are prey for the bald eagle.
They tell us that we're free, but all I seem to see is these red blood stains out on these streets. And now the smoking barrels pointed at me. It's amazing.
It's amazing how they lie to us. It's amazing how they lie to us and we believe. It's amazing how they lie to us. It's amazing how they lie to us and we believe. Rest in peace to the latest victim, David Joseph. Another one killed by APD. They tell us that we free when they whole plan is to keep us captured and caged. It's up to us to change that. It's up to us to realize who we are.
How they lied to us.
Say, man, this is powerful, man. This is powerful. I thank God for this platform. I thank God for Bobby Mack, Nathaniel Sanders, Destiny Sanders, Etan Thomas. I thank them for y'all, man. This has been powerful for me, man. I'm really kind of caught up in the moment right now because this situation hits home. I kind of want Bobby Mack and Nathaniel Sanders to hit y'all before we go into the end of the third quarter, into the fourth quarter. I kind of want them to drop some knowledge on y'all about life and the impact of being around people that are powerful and share the same ideas and principles as you. Kind of talk to them about how you and your Bobby Mack relationship. Because I need to, hey, man, so look, so y'all understand me, man. My job is to go out as the realest cat in the world, man. Ain't no hate, no animosity, no jealousy, no envy, man. We're going to say this and we're going to represent this because this the seed we plant in everybody. Yeah. I got cold cats with me, and I'm going to rep them till I die. So I want you to kind of talk about the power and how y'all's relationship has been built and how cold both of y'all are.
All right. First of all, I mean, you know, I just met him, what, a week ago? Yep. 2 weeks? A week ago? 2 weeks?
Week and a half. Yeah.
About a week and a half ago. And I really love and respect that brother, bro. and no, and I'm serious, man. That's something that
Thank you, man.
I don't say or take too lightly.
Right.
Because I like his ideas, bro. I like the way he think, man. I mean, you know,
worldwide.
Yeah, look, yeah. No, he worldwide, bro. And it's really hard for me to take a liking to somebody that I don't know,
right,
and to trust. But man, his knowledge, bro,
on point.
It's powerful, bro. I mean,
I couldn't wait for the word.
I have been hearing some things about a book, and man, when I met him just the other day, and I heard him talking about it, and just his spirit, his energy, man, it made me think about the book again. So what I did, I went out on Monday, and I purchased the book.
Can I ask what that book was, sir?
The name of the book is The Mis-Education of the Negro.
Bobby Mack read books. Bobby Mack be talking about books. My man, I thought he just lift weights.
No. That book.
He got a carbon
no,
cut. He
no.
don't read. Man, that boy don't
listen,
read no books,
Man, that book was written in 1933.
Bobby Mack told you that about.
No, Bobby Mack ain't told me that.
He told you about that book.
By Carter G. Woodson.
Carter G. Woodson.
1933. Man, I went out and brought the book, I promise you, Monday morning. I took it with me to New Orleans on Monday afternoon while we were flying out. As a matter of fact, we were tuned into the show at the airport. I was reading and watching. I said, man, this brother is on something, bro. I took the book to New Orleans, man. My mother is a retired school teacher, educator. And I'm always curious as to what I'm reading, what I'm doing. But she always told me a long time ago, Nate, you want to educate yourself, read.
Man,
That's what he said.
Nate. Leaders or readers?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
She like,
you're right. No, you're right. You're right. No, you're right. So look, Coach, look, man. So my mother is 80, man.
Yeah.
She picked that book up.
Yeah.
She started reading it.
Your mom's?
My mother, man,
Right.
80 years old.
Wow.
She said, Nate, where you get this book? I told her. She said, when you get back to Texas, buy me one. I said, would you read it? She said, yeah. I gave her that one.
Not even 30 minutes into us being there.
Wow.
Came back on Thursday, man, and I went and brought me another copy, bro.
But that's based on what? Just the relationship.
Man, the like I said, a week and a half that I've been knowing him, bro. Man, I think, bro, if people, again, like I said, you know, I'm not from here. I don't know him like that. Went to school with him or none of that type of stuff. But man, I think if people supported, bro, and pushed the brother cause, bro, some things could be done around here, bro.
If they listen and get behind it.
Man, yes, sir. Now, I mean, maybe they could get some big old guns, and, big old chests or whatever. That's good. But the knowledge, man, in the head, man.
Yeah.
The knowledge, man. You know what is power? Knowledge, man.
Yeah.
And I thought about something what we talked about yesterday, man.
What's that?
When you talked about power
Right.
and the other man,
Right.
say, bro, knowledge is power, man.
Yeah. But hold on. But knowledge is not power if you don't execute it.
You're right. See, the man has a lot of wisdom, man.
Come off that chain. Get out that chain, boy. God, the world king, boy.
Okay. Listen. I don't know if I already said it, but I'll say it again. If a man got so much knowledge inside of him and he died with it, he died alone. But if a man spread the knowledge while he here on earth, he'll never die.
He'll never die. You're absolutely right.
They live through the people, man.
Right.
See, people got to get this right. Understand this, man. It's not how long you live. It's how you live when you are alive.
I love it.
You got to, bro. You got to, bro.
I'm just saying.
You got to, man.
Oh, he lived 90 years. Okay, what did he do?
Right.
And we got to understand that.
Right.
It's okay to talk about our history, what our people done, what you learning from them.
Right.
How you implement that in
How
your
you
life.
implement that into your kids.
Yes.
Or you doing it. Or you just saying, oh, I read that book. What are you getting out of it, man?
Yes.
You can't live big. You cannot live big and do things if you don't really read and understand what you're reading, man.
Right.
Process the information.
Processing the information. I tell y'all all the time, man. Big, B-I-G. Books, individuals, and goals. That's how you make it big.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Worldwide, get busy. Replay.
So when you do these things, when we do them together, when we teach our young men when they get pulled over, what to do. We need classes at this, man.
Right.
Huh? And hey, man, we need some way, somehow, man. We need to interlock with the police, man, for real, like the chief or man. I need to be on this side. You need to be on that side.
It's a lot to that process, B, because with what you doing and speaking and we dealing with the kids, we got to raise the next police chief. We got to make that cool to be the next police chief and vote for people and teach our people how to vote in the process of all of that. You know what I'm saying? We need to have our own people in place. Right. And I'm going to go to you, E, because I want you to kind of talk about your books and what you're doing moving forward. And then we're going to get back to this Nate Sanders story, man. Go ahead, E. Let the people know where to find you and what you got going on, my brother.
Well, I'm doing my thing. I'm just touring the country and speaking in different places, and set up different programs and having different workshops. All the things that y'all are talking about are things that are passions of mine. So I'm inspired listening to you all talk, and also it angers me. I'm gonna be serious. Like I don't like that this family has to deal with the loss of their son, and I don't like that we have to applaud our people for being composed out in the public. Right. You know what I mean? And they shouldn't have to be composed. And it's they shouldn't be in that situation that they're in. And that's what has led me to reach out to some of the people that are going through those situations to be able to see how I can possibly help. It's so frustrating because there's so much that needs to be done. You know what I mean? And each police department is completely different. So you might have the Austin Police Department, which is completely different than the Tulsa Police Department, which is completely different than the New York Police Department. So everybody brings their own sets of issues and own sets of mountains that you have to climb. I mean, there was just this thing where the Castiles were fighting with the, I don't know which city in particular in Minnesota, but it was one of the police departments. They had the body cameras, but they had the ability to turn them on and off. And I was like, well, if they have the ability to turn them on and off, then as soon as they're doing something that they're not supposed to do, they turn the camera off. That ain't helping nothing. So they're pushing for that law to be changed where they have to actually keep them on. And it's really about understanding the process. Like Ray, you mentioned it as understanding the voting process. Yeah, of course, who we vote for president is important, but who you vote for and locally, those are the people who are going to appoint the police chief. Those are people who are going to be over the education board. The people who are going to choose who gets the funding. That's really what is really important, is to vote for and that local level, and really just mobilizing to be able to push the right person. You know what I mean? We have to use our power. There's an old saying that the quiet, what is it? The squeaky wheel is the one that gets the attention. You know what I mean? The quiet one. So we got to make noise. You know what I mean? We have to tell everybody that this is not okay. What is happening? A lot of times what a lot of the people say, like Emerald, who is Eric Garner's daughter, says a lot of times is people get riled up after the story is in the news. But then when everything moves away and they move on to the next story, it's like they forgot about the people. You know what I mean? The people who are going through it from day to day, they're dealing with their loved one not being here and taken away from the police. They're still there. Right. You know what I mean? And that's really what we need to be able to wrap our arms around them and give them the support that they need. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't want the counseling. Tamir Rice's sister, she missed 100 days of school after Tamir Rice was killed. 100. You know what I mean? And it's like, that they were saying, well, why did she miss so much school? I was like, wait a minute. Her brother was killed. Right. You know what I mean? Like, that's trauma. That's like PTSD. Like, and they don't use those terms when they talk about us with how the police are killing us. That is post-traumatic stress disorder. Right on. You know what I mean? To have to go through that, and those are things that we have to do as a community to be able to help. So when I go to these different places, I definitely want to reach out to the sister to be able to bring her with me, especially when I'm going to different places in Texas. But it is almost like a form of therapy, a form of getting the story out to keep their loved one's name alive. You know what I mean? Where people don't forget what's going on. And then they band together, because now Tiffany Crutcher is helping other people who have gone through something where they lost their loved one to the police, and now they're going collectively. She was just here in D.C. Lobbying on Capitol Hill for different laws to be changed. You know what I mean? And it's that level of passion for justice that they're forced into this situation. I just saw Trayvon Martin's mother is running for office down in Florida. Say that, bro. You know what I mean? I mean, and she'll say all the time, this was not her thing. She wasn't no political figure. She wasn't no, anything like that. But she came there and she saw that there is something that needs to be changed because this continues to keep happening. You know what I mean? And this is regardless of anybody else named Sharpton or Jesse Jackson or anybody else. You know what I mean? They're not waiting for them. They're going out and trying to, and with the bullhorn saying, you are going to hear me. You know what I mean? You are going to listen to me, and I'm going to change this. And the thing about it is, there's strength in numbers. And as we keep collecting different people to be able to see, and there's strength in getting allies. You know what I mean? And as we keep collecting these people, we are going to make them hear us. And that's what I have the passion of doing. I was blessed to be able to play in the NBA for 11 years, blessed to be able to go to Syracuse so I could connect with different people, and we could go in there and we can go around the country telling the people there is something wrong here. You know what I mean? That's what Kaepernick wanted to do when he took a knee. He wanted to tell everybody this is something that is wrong and it's not right. And I'm going to use this platform that I have to tell everybody that it's not right. And that just woke everybody up. I mean, yeah, of course you have people get upset. Is he anti-police? He didn't say he was anti-anything. He said that he didn't want the police to keep killing our people and not being held accountable for it. That's not anti-police. That's what everybody should want.
Right.
You know what I mean? So those are the things that we have to just continue to. I'm getting long-winded, but it hurts me to see the level of pain that this family has to go through. And it's not fair and it's not right. And that's why they have to keep telling their stories. And I appreciate y'all for giving them this platform to be able to tell their story. You know what I mean? Because the people need to know that this is happening. You need to keep, like you said, keep sharing this everywhere on social media so people can see what happened in Austin, Texas, even though if you didn't see it on CNN, if you didn't see it on you know what I mean, MSNBC and other places, you can see it here on social media. This is what happened and it's not right. And we need to do something about it. So I just want to thank y'all for giving them this platform to be able to tell their story.
Man, I love you, boy, for co-signing, man. You real. But hold on, we got a quick question for you. We're going to read a question for you. My people got a question for you. Hold on, E. Stay tuned.
Okay. All right.
All right. This question comes from Bobby Mack. And she wants to know, how do we go about in our community advocating for situations like this? What would be the first step?
Did you get
that? I think I heard she said it would be the first step. So I take from what Tiffany Crutch is doing in Tulsa, Oklahoma. People don't know about Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'd say people look at Tulsa, Oklahoma the way they look at Austin. You know what I mean? It's not like it's New York, not like it's Chicago, not like it's LA. It's Tulsa, Oklahoma, right? So she started getting people around, and she went up to the city council, right? And the first time, they didn't want her to go in there. Second time, they told her she has to go away. By the 10th time, the 12th time, the 15th time, they said, okay, we have to let this lady speak. You know what I mean? And she made them hear her. And she got other people. The first time, she didn't have that many people with her. The third time, she didn't have that many people in the community. You know what I mean? It took a while for people to be able to get there and to support. She was like, listen, come to me and support. We need to have our voices heard. We need to go down to the city council. We need to tell them that things aren't right. They're going around saying that Betty Shelby and the police officers did exactly what they should have done. That's not true. So by the 10th time, by the 15th time, now they say they finally heard her. You know what I mean? That's the first step, is to make the city council hear you, and then you push for things to be changed. And there's always strength in numbers. There are when I saw the different things. I'm up here in D.C. When I saw what happened in Baltimore after Freddie Gray was killed, and I saw all the people go down there. They were all young people, right? This is after the uprisings, and they all went down to the city council. They said, we want some accountability for what's going on, right? And they listened to them because of the amount of people. You know, it's like and Malcolm X's birthday just passed Sunday, so it made me think, because I watched the movie again with my kids. So you remember when Malcolm X went down after they had the brother who was getting beat by the police, and they all went down there, and they said, well, you know what I mean? And then they paid attention to them. Right. That's how it is. There's strength in numbers, and it's not easy sometimes to galvanize everybody. I know it's not. You know what I mean? But that's, like I said, if the first time it don't work, if the fifth time you don't get that many people, the 10th time, by the 15th time, you know what I mean? They keep seeing your face, seeing you coming there, and having more people, they're going to be forced to listen to you. That's a long-winded answer to your question.
Man, that's perfect though, because every time you give me a jewel in it, and it take me right back to my boy B Mac worldwide, because he talk about unity. He talk about persistence and staying at it, man. You know, this dude is powerful, man. And E, tell me quickly, because I don't want to hold you, man. You coach, you do everything. You powerful, bruh. Tell me about the bag that you were talking about that we trying to educate and supply the world with, our community with, so they won't have to go through some of these reaching problems.
Okay. So there's a bag. There's a sister named it put me on the spot. I'm working with Valerie Castile on it, and so there's a pouch. So what we do a lot of times, we have these workshops where we're talking with young people, and it's unfair, you know what I mean? But it's what we have to do when we're stopped by the police. So we have to be extra careful because we know that they're looking at us like we're criminals. That's just the nature of the business. Now, when I go to these different schools and I'm talking to little white students, and they're talking about when they get stopped by the police and they're worried about trying to get out of getting a ticket and everything like that, and what's going to happen with points on their license. I'm like, no, that's not what we're worried about. We're worried about if we're going to get home safely. You know what I mean? Two completely different worlds. And so this bag that they're doing with the Castilles, and it's a bag where you put it right on your car door, and you have your wallet, you have your everything in there. So it's called the not reaching bag.
Let him do it.
Yeah, ID, right, and it's all right there, and it's a great product. I'll send it to you. You can broadcast it. It's great what they're doing, and I'm gonna be going around promoting it with some of the things that we're doing. And it's when we're doing these talks with young people, a lot of times, young people, of course, they're like, well, we shouldn't have to do all this. You know what I mean? They're treating us like we're criminals and we ain't even done nothing. And I'm like, listen, I 100% agree with you. But you got to understand that when the policeman comes to your door, when they stop you, right, you have to think that, okay, now I have to work to de-escalate a situation that I didn't escalate in the first place. And the only way it got escalated is because of the color of my skin. And that's a messed up reality, but it is reality. So that when we're stopped by the police, the only thing that's important is getting home safely. That's the most important thing right there. You know what I mean?
I tell my
son, and it's hard. It's hard, Ray, because it's like it's not fair. You see videos of white kids and white women cussing out the police and swinging on the police and what the hell you stopped me for and all this different stuff. I'm like, we can't do that. We can't even think about doing none of that.
The dude just went up in the school, and Nate Sanders was just talking about that and shot and killed people, and they escorted him out alive. Come on,
alive. Man. And they all of them big mass killings and stuff like that, where the white kids are like, the white people are like just spraying all these people, AR-15s, all this stuff. They all get taken alive. They all do. All of them. They don't ever kill none of them. All of them get taken alive. You know what I mean? And then they shoot us for having a cell phone that they thought was a gun.
Or nothing.
You know what I mean? And that's or nothing at all, right? And that's the reality that we're in. But that's why we have to continue this fight that we have. So every time I see a grieving family that has lost their loved one, it just builds a whole new fire in me, because I know how things are not right. You know what I mean? And there's no accountability for it. And I keep reminding, keep saying, that is why Kaepernick was taking a knee. That's why he was doing what he was doing. You know what I mean? And mainstream America, when you say mainstream America, you mean white people. You know what I mean? But you say mainstream America, they wanted to paint this picture like it's something different. Because when athletes say certain things, it raises people's awareness to another level, because people like athletes. You know what I mean? Yeah. So they hear their favorite athlete talking about something like that. They hear LeBron talking about something. They hear Dwayne Wade or Russell Westbrook or Carmelo talking about something that's going on, and it grabs their attention. Yeah. So then you see the other side that doesn't want that to happen. They want to tell them, look, shut up and dribble. You know what I mean? Just stick to what you do. Yeah. Like they don't know what they're talking about. Right. You know what I mean? Because they know the power of it. They know the power of influence. And that's why why what we're doing is encouraging athletes to continue using that power and their voices and their influence, because there's a lot of power in it. But I mean, that's the nature of what we're doing. So when we go and we speak in different places, and we're going to be speaking in different places in Texas, I'm going to say it again, I definitely want you to connect me with them, because there is power in your story being told, so that people can know exactly what is going on, that we have this issue. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times you'll talk to people and they'll be like, oh, there's no issue with the police. You'll be like, what, are you serious? You know what I mean? And you talk to white people, and sometimes they're like, oh, well, if they would have just followed commands, or if they would have just obeyed the laws or what they were saying. You hear people like you turn on Fox News and you hear Bill O'Reilly saying, well, I've never had any problems with the police. I just listen to what they tell me to do, and I go away, and that's it. I'm like, okay, y'all have a totally different experience than what we experience.
Yeah.
And we gotta understand. Y'all gotta understand that there's two different worlds.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And that's why we have the issues that we have, because we are living in two different worlds.
That's so real.
My bad. I'm getting long-winded.
Nah,
I'm sorry.
man.
I'm
Hey,
sorry,
man.
bro.
Hey, it's so powerful because I want to drop
bad.
something to Jewel, like with the book Bobby Mack and talking about Colin Kaepernick, and with the book that Bobby Mack had my man read and has been pushing for everybody to read, The Miseducation of the Negro. A lot of blacks got mad at Colin Kaepernick for kneeling. But they don't even realize if they would read and get the information. We couldn't even read books with the Constitution in it. It was against the law for us to read books with the Declaration of Independence in it and the Constitution in it. So why should we even be standing for this now? We couldn't even read this then. It wasn't for us. But I'm
even more than that, though.
Even more than that, I'm a body slammer too, man. I tell you, we all killers.
Oh, I know you are. That's why I respect you so much.
I'm gonna take it to a commercial, man. We're gonna go to this fourth quarter, man, and I'm gonna let you close it out, and we're gonna close it out in the fourth quarter and talk about some big things. I can't hold y'all back, man. And let me tell y'all this, man. I hate to tell y'all this, but I'm just basing it off the views. Injustice Monday gonna carry over, man. We're gonna spill out and keep rolling and give y'all some real insight. Bring the community together and let's solve these problems. Because I'm going to tell y'all in a minute, man, I'm going to start calling out the clowns that don't show up. You understand? And that's just my life calling, man, to unite, uplift, and motivate. If y'all not going to support, we're gonna force y'all to stop faking on social media, man. Yep. You understand what I'm saying? We're going to quit playing these games and confusing the people. But we're going to go to commercial. We're going to come back for the fourth quarter. As you can see, I'm a real Jaguar because we get stronger in the fourth. That's what we do. We'll see y'all in just a second, baby.
I'm here to announce on my client's behalf that we have filed a federal wrongful death lawsuit against Officer Leonardo Quintana and the city of Austin related to the wrongful and senseless killing of Nate Sanders Jr. on May 11th, 2009. It is our belief, and it is alleged in this lawsuit, that Officer Quintana employed excessive force the morning he shot and killed Nate Sanders. We believe the officer's actions were without justification and were totally unnecessary for dealing with the situation that was at hand. I want to go through what we believe to be the main factual allegations in this case and discuss what we believe occurred as alleged in our lawsuit. As been reported before, there were 3 African-American males in a car. It was driven by Michael Franklin, who was the driver and who was awake. The passenger in the car, in the passenger seat, was Sir Lawrence Smith. He was sound asleep. Likewise, the passenger in the back seat was Nate Sanders Jr. He too was sound asleep. This car went into the Walnut Creek apartment complex, and what Mr. Franklin was doing was dropping off his sleeping passengers at a friend's house. Mr. Franklin then noticed the police car had gotten behind him, and this was a car driven by police officer Leonardo Quintana. It is very important to note that Officer Quintana did not have his lights on, and he did not have his sirens on. He simply approached Mr. Franklin's car and pulled up behind it. At that point, Mr. Franklin exited the car, and Officer Quintana approached him and detained him. It is important to note that Mr. Franklin was not arrested for anything. There was reports earlier that this car, there was a suspicion that individuals were shooting out of this car. We believe these allegations are categorically false. This car had done absolutely nothing wrong. At that point, Officer Quintana put Mr. Franklin in the back seat, and then he decided to approach the back of the Mercedes where Nate Sanders was asleep. I want to be very clear about this. Nate Sanders was sound asleep in that car. Officer Quintana did not have his police lights on. He did not have any sort of siren on, and he did not use a bullhorn in an attempt to say, wake up, get out of the car. Instead, and in clear violation of Austin Police Department policy, he approached the car, opened the door, and physically tried to pull Nate Sanders out of the car. At a certain point, Nate Sanders awoke, and he clearly had no idea what was going on because there was a very large and very strong man attempting to pull him out of a car. And Nate Sanders reacted the way anyone else would have reacted in that situation. His defensive mechanism was to move back into the car to escape the hold of the police officer. At that point, it is based on our allegation that Officer Quintana panicked and literally opened fire into that car, shooting and killing Nate Sanders from a very close range. It is our belief, as alleged in this lawsuit, that Officer Quintana's actions were totally unjustified, they were totally unnecessary, and the reality is this: if he had simply followed APD policy and put on the sirens, put on the bullhorn, woken Nate Sanders up, we would not be here today, and Nate Sanders would be alive. I believe it was a...
Big man, I love you, man. Let's go, baby.
Oh, we back. Hey, we back. Here it is. Hey, share the video. Share the video, please. It's good content right here. And we love it all, man. We appreciate these beautiful, beautiful people right here, Nate and his daughter, man. Nate, I got a question. You had a lawyer. He worked for you.
Right.
Right. When you called him, what did he tell you? On your case, on your son, on this death, on everything that happened. We to the end almost on this, right? We to the end. The lawyer's right there. He's talking. What did he tell you?
Okay. He called me. I didn't call him.
Okay.
He called me.
Okay.
Whenever they would get any information, especially before anything was televised in the newspaper, they would give me a holler like, heads up, this was going on.
Okay.
Well, I was working and he gave me a call and he said that they were ready to settle the case. And I said, well, we don't want a settlement. We're ready to go to trial. I mean, because we're looking for justice.
Right.
We're not looking for money.
Right.
Because what has happened is priceless.
Okay, that's right.
There is no price on, my son's life.
That's right.
In spite of how the social media, the news, or whoever created him to be a demon, where he didn't have horns coming out of his head, nor did he have a halo. But it was my child. I love him.
Exactly.
Anyway, the lawyer gave me a call and said they had settled. And I was like, you mean settled? He said, the city settled, for X amount, blah, blah.
Hold on. He called you and say, Nate, they settled.
They settled the case.
But you like, hold on, I want justice.
We want a trial. And his response was, you can go to trial. Like I forestated earlier, anything negative about the police officer, police department will not be used in federal court. Everything negative about your son or your family will be.
Wow.
Wow,
I said the same
man.
thing. E. Wow.
Wow.
Wow. Wow. That's not a fair trial, E.
That's not a trial.
Not at all.
That's not a trial at all.
I mean, so the choice was made for us. I mean,
So they made the choice for you. Woo.
I mean, I wasn't going to go to a trial where I can't use any evidence, but you have evidence, whether it's made up or whatever. I mean, my problem, or my thought was this. I don't care anything negative that you bring up the past.
Yeah,
I mean, what's important is
what happened at night.
we're in the car asleep, now we dead. Let's just put that on trial.
Make me understand that.
Make me understand.
You make me understand that, and we good.
So that's where we were. We just want to understand May the 11th, 2009, backseat of the car asleep, now dead. Now, whatever happened prior to
All that, yeah.
May the 11th, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's not important. However, that's in a perfect world.
Wow. And so this ain't just happened to just Nate, right? This happened all over the United States. That what you telling me?
Yes, sir. I mean, it's a recurring theme that keeps going on, and the problem is that if you don't hold officers accountable, then they almost have a license to kill. Not almost, they do. I mean, what's going to stop them if they have no punishment, if they have no repercussions or anything like that, and they could just kill for any reason? And what's going to stop them from continuing to do it? And that's what the problem is. And that's where we have to push this legally, and that's the game that they play. That if we pay you off and keep you quiet and everything like that, is that all these different cases all around the country, the city had a settlement, but none of the officers went to jail. You know what I mean? The city's had a settlement. You know what I mean? And so much of that settlement even gets tied up from lawyers and all of that different things, which is something I didn't know before until some of them was telling me. I was like, well, I just didn't make that connection. But yeah, they after a while, a lot of that money is gone from lawyer fees. You know what I mean? So now they done bought your silence, gave you some settlement where you don't even see most of it because most of it is on legal fees. And now you're with no justice because the police officers, there's no accountability still for what they did to your loved one. I mean, it's a terrible system. Like you can't be happy with that system, no matter if you're black, white, Republican, Democrat, whatever system, whatever you are. You can't look at that system and say this is a fair system.
Right. Yeah, because you got a group of people who saying yay or nay. We know about going to the jury and all of that, but all in all, you really saying that these are a group of people who say what's right and what's wrong. So these are the ones that we don't even see them, but they really the ones that should be held accountable, right?
No question. No question. You have to have accountability with everything. I mean, you have to look at it even breaking it down from a parent. If you're a parent and you have a child and they can do whatever they want to and not get in trouble for it, then what's going to happen? They're going to keep doing it.
That's right.
You know what I mean? That's just human nature.
That's life form. Yeah.
Yes, that's all it is, and that's the problem. They treat policemen like they can, and we do it a lot, and we say, okay, all of these policemen that are the good cops, why are they quiet?
Right.
If they so good.
But
you know what I mean? They should want bad cops to be out of it.
But you know what,
making
though?
them look bad.
Why
they quiet?
You exactly right. But I was always taught, because racism goes three different ways to certain people, and sometimes you can look at it as racism as, well, why you didn't say nothing? You just as racist as the person who said it. If you didn't say nothing to help it get better.
No question, and it's not always just of black and white either, because they said, okay, we need more black people police. Like, no, we need more police that aren't pigs. Right. That's what we need, because pigs come in all shapes and sizes and colors and religions. They come in all types. It's not just black and white.
Right.
I mean, you get my homeboy hype with that talk, boy. Hey, boy, get him hype.
He like that.
And I want to hear this beautiful voice, man. I'm gonna kind of fast forward and bring it down to bring it to current times right now, and kind of personalize it a little bit. 10 years later, Des, just celebrated 10 years. How is this still affecting you and your family, and how is that still playing a powerful role in your life right now? And that's to you as well, Nate.
10 years still feel like May 11, 2009, and not May 11, 2019.
Man.
Because we sit at the table, or we sit around riding in our cars talking about, I wonder what Nathan would be doing today. I wonder if Nathan would be doing this or doing that. I wonder. Like, we are left wondering 10 years later. It doesn't go away. People have said, like, oh, y'all need to just get over it and live your life or whatever. and exactly.
Seriously,
exactly.
man.
And it's like, okay, well, as it was stated earlier, y'all don't know how it feels or what it is until it happens to you. And I would hate for it to happen to you, for you to see what it's like. Because 10 years later, I'm 25. I'm not over it.
Right.
I still go in my room, and across the hall is my brother's room with memorabilia, not him coming to his room or whatever. So 10 years later, I'm still highly affected. I've learned how to get through my day. Sometimes I'm riding in my car crying because I want to laugh with my brother about something, and it's like, well, dang, I can't even call him and ask him if he remembers this because he was taken from me. So then I have to make myself laugh to try to keep from crying, because he would be like, man, you a punk, why are you crying? So then, I gotta hear that voice and say, you know what, I'm gonna be good. Like, my brother still lives within me, and that's what I have to hold on to. Going from a 15-year-old girl in high school that was kind of left out of everything because I'm a minor, and now I'm 25. When I was 22, I don't want to hear that I'm a minor stuff. We're going to have a walk for justice. Whoever's there is going to be there, whether you support me or not. And the support was amazing, because now y'all can't tell me you can't say nothing because you're a minor. No, because now y'all going to hear me. And y'all going to hear me loud, whether my voice is loud or not. You're going to hear me and you're going to feel it. And that's what it's been, period. So, I mean, that's all I could do is keep his name, because like you said, there's people that keep themselves in, and when they die, they die.
That's right.
But then there's others whose name they're still alive because you got people keeping your name alive. And as long as Destiny's around, Nathan's name is going to be around, and that's what it is. From me being his little sister, that was my best
I love
friend.
that. Quit looking at me. You know I love
But
you know I love how you raised this girl, boy.
So,
you know I love that shit.
So Revelation is coming, right? So this what I'm not a prophet, okay, but this what I see for you. I want to see this for you. I want you're going to be in the classroom with little girls who went through what you went through, and you're going to speak it and you're going to teach it. Because when we reach one, we teach one.
Right. And I'm with that. 100%.
You know what I mean? I already see it though, because you're going to let it, they're going to feel you, you're going to feel them, and it's going to be a connection, and y'all going to have a family. And that's just what it's going to be.
And that's that. And then even when it was spoken on Samir's right sister missing school, I missed school because I thought I could go to school and not think about it 2 days later.
Man.
They didn't know, because I'm back at Granny house. Little boy, never seen him a day in my life. I see you in the newspaper, but you big-faced. Don't come at me with that.
Right.
So it's not safe for me to be there, because, as he said, that is PTSD. And I didn't know that, because I'm 15 and I'm trying to get away from it. And you bringing it to me, and I don't know you, and you don't look like me?
Right.
Oh, no, we got a problem.
But see, we need people that are sensitive to that, like Ian, like you're stating, that allows people to understand this and voice that this is what our community is dealing with. That's why we have this platform, so that y'all understand it is real.
It's very real.
Very real.
And then I got sick, missed a year and a half of school. My senior year is when the settlement's coming about. So we're back on the news, 2011. I'm sitting in my government's class, and the substitute
Check that
brings
out, Coach.
up
I never tell you
the
that.
mayor, because somebody was like, well, who's the mayor? Because it was a word find or something.
Yeah.
Who's the mayor? Oh, the mayor's Will Win or whoever it was at the time, and they're gonna be voting on whether or not they want to pay this kid's family. My heart gripped.
Check it out, B-Mac. Check it out. Check it out,
Hold
B-Mac.
on, let's
Hold on.
go back. So say that you sitting in class. Go ahead.
Oh, man. Hold up, man.
Go back. Tell
I'm
that.
sitting in class. This is my senior year of college, my senior year of high school. First week. I haven't even made it through my second week. First week. And me and one other black kid in the class amongst 20 other people. So I'm doing my work and I hear, the mayor and the city council, they're going to be voting on whether or not they want to pay this kid's family. And
Waste the taxpayers' dollars. Huh?
I just froze. So I picked up my phone and I'm texting my daddy like, I don't know if I can hold it in,
Right.
but I'm going to try. And she went on, this thug that was in the back seat of a car.
I'm out.
I'm out. No, listen, people.
That's
how they feel about
he
it.
had a struggle with the police and blah, 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 blah. So I said, I'm going to go to the bathroom. And I called my daddy, and I'm crying.
Oh, I know you are, man.
And my daddy told me, why are you crying? You going to go back in there and you tell her. So, I got to wash up. I don't want you to see the redness in my eyes. Open that door. I need to tell you something, ma'am. That boy wasn't a thug. And his family don't need y'all money because it's not going to bring him back. And that boy was my brother. So keep your opinions to yourself when you're in the classroom. It's not your job to do all that.
Face hit the floor. Bam.
It's not your, I didn't know what to, I went back to my seat. And now she wants to hit me with that, I'm sorry, I don't want your apology.
You already
Well,
said
see,
your
you
truth.
ain't sorry.
But look, this the way the Lord worked it out, bro. I was about 15 minutes from the school. I said, just go back. Don't let her know, but I'm coming. I'll be there. I said, make sure don't say anything to anybody. I'll be there and take care of it. So when I got there, her principal, what was his name?
Mr.
Britton.
Just saw him at the funeral.
He saw me. He said, "Oh, Mr. Sanders, he said, what you doing?" I said, right now I don't want to talk about that. What I need to do is find out what class Destiny's in because I need to go
to that classroom.
He said, what's Big Head guy? He used to call her Big Head. Big Head causing trouble. I said,
Bonehead.
Bone, that's right. Bonehead. Bonehead. I said, no, sir. And I kind of explained to him. He said, well, Brother Sanders, I'm going to take you up there, but I'm going to get Destiny to come outside and let me deal with the teacher.
He already knew I was up.
So we go up the stairs, right? He went into class, and about 10 seconds later, I could hear the SRO coming upstairs.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, what did this girl do? I told her, don't tell him. He came right up the stairs, right to the classroom, but it was for a different situation. So she came out, and we talked and kind of settled a little bit, and Mr. Britton talked to him, the substitute, and it's just...
But see, Nate, this is my thing, man. And this is something I want the world to know, man. I mean, they can't label us as thugs, E, and I hope you hear me, E, and you see how powerful this young lady is. And this man is devout in the church, cold. You understand? He's helped me with some scriptures. My daughter named Trinity. We had to talk about Trinity. So a lot of this that I'm dealing with is crazy. But see, the thing that I want them to understand, I wasn't the greatest of teenagers. And they're killing our kids and not letting them come back and live their greatness, bruh. Like, I made a lot of mistakes when I was a teenager that I could have gotten killed for, but shouldn't have gotten killed for. This young man was asleep, and he don't get a chance to even come back and spend time with his family And at the same time, they demonize this young man in the public's eye, and this is what the family has to deal with. And there's no justice for even that part of it, let alone the crime. But what about the injustice the family has to deal with on a day-to-day basis, my brother? And it's crazy.
No.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So tell me 10 years later, Nate, how you feeling and what's going on?
Coach, I could tell you, the Lord is really blessed that I was able to, the years, you know what I'm saying, go. But 2 weeks ago to 10 years, man, it was like 09, man. I just, for some reason I couldn't.
Yeah.
I could not bear it. It was, one of those.
So they say time heal wounds. But some wound needs stitches.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, though?
Yeah.
I mean, let's be real. I mean,
yeah,
and this is a stitch.
Yeah.
You know, and it feel like it was wide open come this past May 11th. Cause
Right.
that's when I talked to you. We got
Right.
close after that, but you had to go see Ray.
Right.
You see what I mean? To get
Yeah.
away. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Because
sir.
of the impact,
Yes.
what happened 10 years later. I hope y'all hearing this 10 years later. I hope y'all hearing this 10 years later.
It felt exactly like the date.
May 11th.
May 11th, 09. May the 11th, 2019.
As soon as you get up in the morning.
I got up and I tried to go about doing business, and by lunchtime, after lunchtime,
here it come.
out of there. I took off all my clothes, got in the bed, and went to sleep. And I think I woke up about maybe 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
And I called, Coach.
Still there.
Where you at, Coach?
Man.
He said, come on over, bro.
Because he in the garage, You gotta go there.
In the lab. Boy, let's stay in the lab. I don't think they know that.
Yeah. So we got papers up here, and I'm looking at this. Police killed 1,164 people in 2018. This is all over the map, though. People are getting taken. We don't know all the situations. We don't know the causes, and we don't know. But if you could just, we guesstimating. What would you think the percentage would be for just wrongfully dead, man?
And black in that. What do you think?
I've seen different stats in different cities. I don't know nationwide, but different cities. It's terrible. When if you have the stats right in front of you, list them all out so they can tell people that this is not something that we're just making up. That this is happening nationwide. You know what I mean? On a regular basis.
Okay, E, look, check it out, E. 7 times more likely to be killed by a police officer, Oklahoma, than Georgia. Police killing black people per about 1 million. Oklahoma is in the red and Georgia blue, so Georgia is leading just by the killing of it all. It's not about the crime. It's a fewer than 1 in 3 blacks killed by police in America in 2014 were suspected of a violent crime and allegedly armed. Non-violent, 69%, allegedly armed was 31%. Levels of crime in the U.S. does not make it any more or less likely for police to kill people.
And see, the allegedly armed was a discussion we had yesterday, bro, because in this situation with Nate Sanders, allegedly he was armed. But we never had fingerprints on a gun, and we never really saw a gun until the last second, and he was asleep.
But isn't Texas an open carry state?
Yep.
But go ahead, read that, Bobby. Let's read that stat right there.
There are only 23 days in 2018 where police did not kill someone.
Wow.
Wow.
Say that again, bro.
There were only
Goodness gracious, that's amazing.
Say that
Man,
again.
there was only 23 days where the police did not kill no one in 2018.
Wow.
And that was the first 4 months.
Man,
January, February, March, and April.
Let me also read a stat on there. I want the people to see this. 1,147 people in 2017 were killed by the police. Black people were 25% of those killed, despite being only 13% of the population.
wow.
25% and 13% of the population. And those are just some, simple facts that we want to throw out there, man. Like I said before, man, E, I'm thankful for having you on there, man.
No, anytime.
Man, we're going to revisit this, E. I'm going to have you back on. We're going to talk about some HBL too, but we're going to revisit this because the people, they going crazy about this. They want to hear more. They just need to know the knowledge and they need to see us coming together. So I'm going to give you a chance real quick. If you got a website or anything, podcast, video, what you want to tell the people, go ahead and tell them about that.
Okay, yeah, my website is just etanthomas.com. Just my name, Etan, E-T-A-N, and Thomas, Thomas.com. My social media, my Twitter is just Etan Thomas 36. That was my number when I was playing. Real simple. But yeah, I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. I'm going to speaking in Tulsa, Oklahoma, June 1st. I'll be speaking at a big expo there. That's just what I do. I was blessed to have a little platform, you know what I mean? Not a huge platform, I got a little platform, and I'm just gonna keep using it. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah. Okay, and what about the podcast, the show? When can we tune in on that, and how can we tune in on that, my brother?
So I got a radio show here in DC every Thursday. It is called The Collision, where sports and politics collide. And Ray Jackson was just on it with Jimmy King, and we talked about a whole lot of stuff. And I always tell you, brother, like I when I was in high school, I looked up to y'all. Like I read the Fab Five book, read it from cover to cover. Everybody on my team read it. We weren't even reading like that back then.
Why y'all keep acting like y'all read? You read too, boy?
Listen, I'm gonna tell you, in high school, we wasn't reading like that, but we read that 5-5 book. And y'all
saying they keep saying athletes don't read and we not highly intelligent and all that, and we should just dribble.
Y'all inspired us because y'all was standing up against the system and educating on yourselves and seeing how y'all being exploited, everything. That woke all of us up. So y'all were an inspiration to us. And I tell you that all the time. And y'all,
I don't receive that because you still must. I receive it, but I'm so humble because I'm in your presence that I feel the same way about you, my brother, man. I feel the same way about you. I'm going to get you Destiny Sanders, the Nate Sanders family, their information so that when we start collaborating, y'all start doing things, I need the world to hear, man, and keep young Nate Sanders' name, his legacy alive because he was a great young man and we wish he was here to celebrate with us right now. B-Mac, Nate Sanders, I don't know if y'all want to share anything, but I'm telling y'all, we coming back to this, these Mondays, these Injustice Mondays are coming right back, man, so.
Man, I just want to say thank you, Nate. You and the beautiful daughter, man, to just coming by and just speaking. Hope we can do this again and let these people know how serious this is about our young boys are getting gunned down and all the rest of everything else that goes on, intimidation with the laws and just the whole nine. But I just want to really say, man, thank you. It takes some real people to come up here and express themselves and to just tell a story and we still got some more to go. We will. We want it back. We want it again, man.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Both of y'all back.
We want both of them. And
well, this y'all show.
Yeah, I mean,
this y'all family. This y'all show.
So I really appreciate you guys, man.
Well, I can tell you, we appreciate you all giving us the opportunity, a platform to share with people that's willing to receive and accept the truth of a matter. Because one thing for certain about it is it's not the easiest thing to deal with, but I think with strong community guys like you guys with this forum, it can help people to cope. I mean, because, a lot of times you have a lot of friends and everybody think the same. when you there, nobody is there because they think everybody else is there. So you alone.
You're alone.
Wow.
That's powerful.
The
Man.
boy dropped the
That's
dude.
powerful.
That was.
I love you, boy.
And
that dude called.
so, with that being said, we have come to the end of our show, and the main thing what we let everybody know is this: when we reach one, we teach one, and when we reach many, we reach plenty, because it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Love y'all, man.
Blessed week.
Real quick, I can't get them bags.
E, we're gonna get them bags. E, I'm gonna get you the information. We're gonna get them bags. People want them bags already, man. So we're gonna talk in the near future and get them bags to Texas, man. So we'll talk soon. I love you. Blessings on everything you touch, brother.
Thank you, E.
Be safe. He gone. All right, we get all that to him. There's anything you want to say on your way out?
Thank y'all for having us. I'm always with sharing what I went through, because as he said, there's some little girl that's going through it, went through it, and unfortunately probably will go through it. And it's
Say it.
I don't want to say it's easier, but it's beneficial to have someone that you can sort of relate with, because nobody will ever understand my pain. I won't ever understand theirs, but I have an idea.
Okay.
So I'm always open. I'm down. It is, it is what it is when it comes to me having to share my experience with others. Big, short, old, young, whoever it is. I'm here for it, 100%.
I can't wait for the world, man. Like I try to surround myself with powerful people, and I think with the reaching out of Etan, you're gonna be on a national platform to keep your brother's legacy and your family name going. And I can't wait for the world to hear and see you, baby. You tuned into the locker room, man. Catch us next Monday, 8 o'clock. Worldwide B-Mac Cole. We're gonna be doing it big all the time when we touch this mic and this stage, brother. We love y'all. Have a blessed week. Pray over your family. Keep everybody safe in the community, man. Next time.
Next time.
Peace.
Peace.